Here are the match wars. In the early teens, my friend and I were bored. We wanted something to do. And we came up with the idea of somebody said that you can make a rocket out of a match, a regular match. And so the match would be just like a book of cigarette matches. And it had that little red head of chemicals on the top and a little stick. So the game was to make these rockets and throw and shoot them at each other. Now, my basement again was the scene of many things. It was an open territory. Parents seldom went down there. It was dark enough for any shenanigans. It had black lights. It had red cellophane over old fluorescent lights. So it was any kind of fun house you wanted. And in this eerie backdrop, which was the site of the dart fight where the dart stuck in my brother's head, we decided to set up like two bases. He would be like Russia at the time. The Cold War was roaring like it is today. And I was the United States. So we would make our missiles and fire them at each other's and see who could reach it to. He'd have a card table and I'd have a card table where we're working. And we're about maybe 15 feet apart or so. But that's a vast distance for a match to cover. So what you had to do was take the minimum amount of aluminum foil that you could get. Yeah, you brought yourself a piece of aluminum foil and you tear off little bite-sized things and test different designs. I made my matches look like, my match missiles look like World War II American helmets. They were rounded. My friend was very creative. Since he was a more Russian East Asia type of guy representing his country, he made his with a twist top. He didn't fold it down into a little helmet. And then you'd put a pin in the back of the thing to make an air hole for it to escape. So it was a very cheap V1 rocket that you were making, very low power, but ingenious, which was the fun. So as we're doing this, what comes about is we find that you can't get pain on the other guy. Even if you do the best shot, if you're lucky, you'll hit his table. But if you hit him, it's like nuking Moscow or nuking Washington. It's a direct hit. How do you get the visceral reward from hitting your friend with your little invention? Well, we always had an answer for anything. So the suggestion was agreed upon that we'd smear like some Vaseline jelly on our torsos. So we would have a bare torso and the rest of dungarees and sitting in the basement, which was cold, and we're firing these missiles. Now, the theory was that if you hit the guy in the chest, which happened on a couple of occasions to both of us, the missile would go off, and as it landed and it hit, it would be hot for like 5 seconds, right? And it would land in the guy's hair on his chest or on his shoulder. Any place it hit him, it would stick, and you'd get the joy of hearing him scream, ah! That was the payoff. That was the 50 megaton card where half his population was going. If you could hit him in the body and make him scream. It happened on a few occasions, but I must say it was righteous fun. There's nothing like experimenting and seeing stuff like that work out. More soon as the spirit moves me.